Sri Jairam Ramesh. Sri Jairam Ramesh. Now please. No,
Mr. Deputy Chairman, sir.
Sri Jairam Ramesh has the floor. You sit down. Hanumanth Rao, please.
Mr. Deputy Chairman, sir.
Yes.
I rise to speak in support of the Andhra Pradesh
Ola,
Reorganization
ready, sit down.
Amendment Bill 2014. Sir, on the 20th of February 2014, I was sitting where Mr. Venkaiah Naidu ji is sitting today and had occasion to speak on this very issue. Today, from this side, I have to repeat much of what I had presented to the House on the 20th of February when the Rajya Sabha passed the Andhra Pradesh Reorganization Bill. Sir, the President gave his assent to the Andhra Pradesh Reorganization Bill, and the Andhra Pradesh Reorganization Act 2014 was gazetted on March 1st. Section 90 of the Andhra Pradesh Reorganization Act reads as follows. 1. The Polavaram Irrigation Project is hereby declared a national project. 2. It is hereby declared that it is expedient in the public interest that the Union should take under its control the regulation and development of the Polavaram Irrigation Project for the purposes of irrigation. 3. The consent for Polavaram Irrigation Project shall be deemed to have been given by the successor state of Telangana. And 4. The central government shall execute the project and obtain all requisite clearances, including environmental, forests, and rehabilitation and resettlement issues. So, the Polavaram project has the same emotive and iconic appeal to the people of Andhra Pradesh as the issue of Hyderabad was to the people of Telangana. The Polavaram project has been under discussion for many years, and the momentum gathered after the award of the Godavari Water Dispute Tribunal in 1980. And in the last decade or so, the final technical designs of the Polavaram project had been finalized. So briefly, what is the Polavaram project? It's a multi-purpose project. The Polavaram project will irrigate about 7 lakh acres in the Godavari basin of Andhra Pradesh. It will generate about 960 megawatts of power. It will transfer about 80 TMC of water from the Godavari basin to the Krishna basin, which will benefit Telangana, Karnataka and Maharashtra, and it will also supply 23 TMC of water, drinking water, to Visakhapatnam. Broadly, this is the configuration of the Polavaram multi-purpose project. It was conceived of as a multi-purpose project. It has been under discussion for a long time. The technical design was frozen by the Central Water Commission, and thereafter, sir, the cost estimates had been firmed up. In 2010-2011 prices, the Polavaram multi-purpose project is estimated to cost 16,000 crores of rupees, and out of 16,000 crores of rupees, roughly 32% of the expenditure has already been incurred. Sir, I myself have been to Polavaram on 3 occasions in 3 different capacities. I have been to Polavaram as a Member of Parliament, I have been to Polavaram as a Minister for Environment and Forests, and I went to Polavaram as Minister of Rural Development and a member of the GOM on Telangana. So there is no doubt in my mind, and I want to say this with all the force at my command, that while the Polavaram project has many benefits, it is also a project that will involve substantial rehabilitation and resettlement of families. It is estimated, sir, that roughly 45,000 families will have to be relocated because hundreds of villages, and I will come to that number presently, hundreds of villages in Khammam district, 35,000 families in Khammam district, about 7,000 families in West Godavari district, about 3,000 families in East Godavari district, making a total of about 45,000 families in the undivided state of Andhra Pradesh, in the districts of Khammam, East Godavari and West Godavari, will have to be relocated. will you please give me a chance to speak?
Please. Mr. Hanumantarao. Mr. Hanumantarao, please. Mr. Hanumantarao. Hanumantarao, please. What are you doing?
Sir.
Your own member is speaking.
Sir,
No.
sir,
See, nothing will go on record.
sir,
Sit
I
down.
would appeal.
Only what Mr. Jairam Ramesh says will go on record. Nothing else will go on record.
I'm coming to Odisha.
You sit down. Why are you worried?
Sir, I'm coming
You
to
sit down. Why are you worried? Sit down.
I'm
Sit down.
requesting my friends to have
Bite it,
patience.
bite it.
I explained this.
Hanumantarao,
on the
don't do
20th
that.
of
Your own
February.
member is speaking.
I will explain it
Show some
once
discipline.
again. There are about 2,000 families in Malkangiri district
No,
of
please.
Odisha.
Please.
2,000 families
No.
in
Yeah,
Malkangiri
Mr.
district
Ramesh,
of Odisha. And
you
about
can speak.
1,000 families
I will give you a chance.
in
Don't create
Dantewada
problem.
district of Chhattisgarh who are also going
role
to
is my
be
good friend.
resettled and relocated on account of the Polavaram project. Sir, when I was Minister for Environment and Forests, I issued a show cause notice for stopping work on Polavaram till such a time the concerns of Odisha and Chhattisgarh had not been met. The then government of Andhra Pradesh went to the Supreme
Please.
Court, filed an affidavit,
Please.
and made a commitment that they would build protective embankments at an expenditure of 600 crores to minimize submergence
Please.
in Odisha
Please
and
don't do
Chhattisgarh.
that.
Sir, this matter was taken up by,
Sit down.
sir, letters
Sit down. That is
written
not
to the
going
Chief
on record.
Minister. I myself have written to the Chief Ministers of Odisha and Chhattisgarh
No, please.
asking them for public
down.
hearings to be completed
Bite it.
in Malkangiri
Bite it,
and
bite
Dantewada.
Bite it.
But neither the
Bite
Odisha
it.
government
I'll give you a
nor the
chance. Sit down.
Chhattisgarh government has yet given permission for these public hearings. But I want to place on record here, sir, that the erstwhile government of undivided Andhra Pradesh has filed an affidavit in the Supreme Court committing to an expenditure of 600 crores to build protective embankments to avoid submergence in the states of Odisha and Chhattisgarh. The bulk of the resettlement has to be done in Khammam district, West Godavari district and East Godavari district. And sir, it is a fundamental rule of administration that by and large resettlement takes place in contiguous areas. It takes place broadly in the areas where people are living. Now sir, clause 3, section 3 of the Andhra Pradesh Act draws the boundaries of the state of Telangana and makes an exception in the case of Khammam, where certain villages were to be transferred from Khammam district to East Godavari district to reinstate the position, as the Home Minister mentioned, which prevailed before 1959. Now this enabled, this clause was put in, this section was put in order to ensure that the submergence takes place in one state and the resettlement also takes place in one state. It cannot be that the people who are going to be relocated are living in one state and the people who are going to be benefited are in another state, and therefore, in order to assuage the concerns of the people of Andhra Pradesh that resettlement will be done, these villages in these 7 mandals of Khammam district, 134 villages to be precise, based on a GO issued in 2005, were to be transferred to the successor state of Andhra Pradesh. Sir, now,
Mr. Reddy, sit down.
sir, if the honorable members have a little
sit down.
patience,
I'll
I
give you
will
a chance.
take them through the chronology of events. And I will be totally frank and transparent in all the chronology that has taken place so far. Sir, in the original bill that was sent by the UPA 2 government to the Andhra Pradesh Legislative Assembly, there was no provision of transfer of area from Khammam district to East Godavari district. The bill, original bill, had only the provision for the implementation of the Polavaram project. Sir, on the 7th of February 2014, the Union Cabinet met based on all the representations that the GOM, that was headed by the former Home Minister Sushil Kumar Shinde ji had received, and after discussing this matter with a cross-section of people from Telangana and Andhra Pradesh, the Union Cabinet in its meeting on February 7th decided that 7 mandals will be transferred from Khammam district to East Godavari district, except Bhadrachalam town and the Holy Ram temple in Bhadrachalam town. Sir, this was objected to. This was objected to by Telangana on the grounds that connectivity would be impaired, that the access to Bhadrachalam would not be through Telangana but would be through the successor state of Andhra Pradesh. The Union Cabinet then met again on the 12th of February to take note of these concerns, and on the 12th of February, sir, the Union Cabinet overrode its decision of the 7th of February, and instead of transferring the 7 mandals, decided to transfer only the submerged villages. This was the cabinet decision of February 12th, that only submerged villages, partially submerged and fully submerged, would be transferred from Khammam to East Godavari district. Sir, then after February 12th, the bill came to the Lok Sabha on the 18th of February, and it came to the Rajya Sabha on the 20th of February. So when it came to the Rajya Sabha, the Prime Minister made a detailed statement. There were 6 points in that statement, and point number 4 of Dr. Manmohan Singh, former Prime Minister's statement, read as follows. I would like to reassure honorable members that if any further amendments are needed to facilitate smooth and full rehabilitation and resettlement for the Polavaram project, they will be given effect to at the earliest. Our government will execute the Polavaram project, let there be no doubt about it. So this was a statement which was welcomed on the 20th of February, and this was a solemn commitment made by the Prime Minister after he had discussions with various political leaders in the run-up to the consideration of the bill in the Rajya Sabha. Sir, I have already mentioned to you that the first time the Union Cabinet met on the 7th of February, it transferred the mandals. This was objected to by Telangana. On the 12th of February, the Union Cabinet said no mandals, transfer submerged villages. This was objected to by the Seemandhra, or the successor state of Andhra Pradesh. So, in keeping in mind what the Prime Minister said on the 20th of February, the GOM went back to the drawing board and tried to find a solution that would satisfy both Telangana and Andhra Pradesh. The first solution was not acceptable to Telangana, full mandal. The second solution, submerged villages, not acceptable to Andhra Pradesh. So we had to come up with a third alternative. And sir, on the 1st of March, the Union Cabinet met, considered the third alternative, which the Honorable Home Minister just mentioned, that some mandals will be transferred in full, and in one mandal, only the submerged villages will be transferred, and Bhadrachalam town and the Bhadrachalam temple remain under the control of the new state of Telangana. This was a compromise solution, sir. This was the third time the Union Cabinet met on the 1st of March, and we were ready with an ordinance then, but the election code was in operation. We could not issue the ordinance, and rightly so, and we left it to the successor government. We hoped it was UPA 3, but it became NDA 2, but we accepted the fact that there would be continuity, and whichever the government will be there, whoever the Prime Minister, he or she would respond and uphold the solemn commitment made by Dr. Manmohan Singh. So, sir, on the 1st of March, the contours of the ordinance had been drawn up. The mandals that were to be transferred had been drawn up. The villages that were to be transferred had been drawn up. And, sir, I have no hesitation in saying that the Andhra Pradesh Amendment Bill 2014 brought forward by the Union Home Minister is word for word, a repetition of the cabinet decision taken on the 1st of March 2014. I do not want honorable members to be under any doubt or suspicion. Comma, full stop, word, spellings, identical. Whatever the cabinet had decided on the 1st of March, whatever was contained in the draft ordinance drawn up by the UPA 2 government has been now incorporated as the Andhra Pradesh Reorganization Amendment Bill 2014. Sir, when you have your chance, you contradict me. But let me put forward my,
No,
let
Mr.
me
Reddy.
put forward my point of view.
Mr. Keshavarao.
Sir,
Mr. Keshavarao, I am not
Sir.
allowing you.
sir,
You will be
sir,
speaking.
I'm not
sit down.
yielding, sir. I'm not yielding.
Yeah, he is not yielding.
I'm
sit
not
down.
yielding.
Yeah.
I'm not yielding. I will
Yeah,
listen
please.
to them patiently. I expect them to listen to me patiently.
No, you please.
Sir, the Polavaram project will involve massive resettlement. Let us be under no illusions. It is not an easy project to implement. Almost 45,000 to 50,000 families have to be relocated. This is on par with the relocation that has taken place on Sardar Sarovar, and we are still seeing the controversy on Sardar Sarovar. This is on par with the resettlement that has taken place on Indira Sagar in Madhya Pradesh. So this is a gigantic project. It will bring major benefits to the states of Andhra Pradesh and other states, but it will also involve very substantial submergence. It will also involve substantial resettlement and rehabilitation. So this parliament in September 2013 has passed a new land acquisition law. Mr. Rajnath Singh, when he was in the Lok Sabha, was the lead speaker in supporting that new law. And the main difference between the 2013 Land Acquisition Law and the 1894 Land Acquisition Act is that the 2013 law passed by Parliament unanimously has provisions for R&R. It is actually Land Acquisition, Resettlement and Rehabilitation Act 2013. So, whatever resettlement and rehabilitation has to be done by the state of Andhra Pradesh will have to be done in consonance with the new law that Parliament has passed in 2013, which makes it incumbent. And what I am saying, sir, is very, very important, and I would wish my colleagues from Telangana to hear me carefully. The new law makes it incumbent upon the R&R to be completed before the submergence actually happens. We have had a very poor track record of resettlement and rehabilitation in our country. And that has created all sorts of social problems. It is because of this that the 2013 Land Acquisition Act marked a departure from the past and said unless you are able to convince the people who are going to be displaced, and almost 45 to 50% of the people, families to be displaced are going to be tribal families, we are not going to be able to get the full benefits of the project. So, sir, my appeal, while supporting the Andhra Pradesh Reorganization Amendment Bill 2014, my earnest appeal to the successor state of Andhra Pradesh is that by all means implement the Polavaram project, but implement it in a manner that R&R is done democratically, it is done sensitively, it is done humanely, and it is done in provisions with the law that Parliament has passed. It should not be the case that the Polavaram project comes up and people are still waiting for resettlement and rehabilitation. It should not be the case that the Polavaram project is constructed. Contractors have made maximum benefit from the Polavaram project, but families are still waiting for their houses. Families are still waiting for their land. Families are still waiting for their electricity. So, sir, I am fully conscious. I do not need any sermons from my friends in Telangana. Having been Minister for Environment and Forests, I am fully conscious of the environmental impact, the R&R impact of projects like Polavaram. These are projects which are difficult to implement. These are decisions that are taken under the most difficult of circumstances. It is not a black and white case. It's not an open and shut case. It has huge benefits, but it has also presents huge challenges. And I think, sir, given the background to the Andhra Pradesh Reorganization Act, and as I mentioned right at the beginning, and I would like my Telangana friends to please remember this. For Telangana, Hyderabad became an emotive litmus test issue. For Andhra Pradesh, for Andhra Pradesh,
sit down.
for Andhra Pradesh, sir, my voice,
Please.
sir, I cannot,
आप लोग बैठिए.
sir,
Ropalu बैठा. Ready,
sir, I
ready, sit
cannot,
down. Now please,
sir, I'm not
sit
leaving,
down.
sir.
आप लोग sit down.
Sir,
What is this? Congressman, troubling
Sir.
congressman. Why are you?
Sir, I cannot-
Your own member is speaking.
I cannot out, sir, I cannot
Mr.
outshout-
Rao,
Sir, I cannot outshout my colleague.
if you see,
Sir, I cannot outshout. I
if you
cannot
interrupt like
outshout
this,
my
I will
colleague.
not allow you to speak.
Sir,
I will not call your name. I
I-
am telling you.
I cannot outshout my
Interrupters
colleague, Mr.
will not be
Hanuman Rao.
given
I can
time to speak in
understand-
the House.
I can
I am
understand
telling
his
you.
anguish, but I do want to mention
Please.
that
He's going to
Polavaram
conclude,
is
please.
an emotive issue
Okay.
for the successor state of Andhra Pradesh. Polavaram is not just an emotive issue, it is also a very vital bread and butter, water resources issue for the successor state of Andhra Pradesh. And I believe, sir, in the fitness of things, in the grand architecture of the Andhra Pradesh reorganization, a conscious decision was taken by the UPA government with the support of all political parties that Polavaram will be implemented as a national project following all environmental R&R norms.
okay.
So, sir, I would like to
So
end
please
by
conclude.
saying
Now
that
conclude.
this is an important commitment made by the erstwhile government, being taken forward by the present government. It demonstrates continuity in our democratic system of governance. I support the Reorganization Amendment Bill, and I would like to make once again an appeal to the government of Andhra Pradesh, of which the BJP is an ally and partner in government, that the Polavaram project be implemented in a manner that gives confidence to the people that R&R will be done democratically, humanely, sensitively,
you.
and in consonance with the 2013
Okay.
Act. With these words, sir, I thank you for giving this opportunity.
Sri Nanda, thank you. Sri Nanda Kumar Sai. Sri Nanda Kumar Sai. Hey, बोलिए.
माननीय उपसभापति महोदय, माननीय गृह मंत्री जी ने तेलंगाना राज्य अर्थात आंध्र प्रदेश के पुनर्गठन के संबंध में जो विधेयक प्रस्तुत किया है उसका मैं समर्थन करता हूं। जयराम रमेश जी ने अभी बहुत विस्तार से इस विषय में सदन को जानकारी दी है। हम लोग पहले से ही तेलंगाना के गठन के संबंध में बहुत विषय यहां चर्चा किया, आपके सामने ही चर्चा किया था, और उसका निर्माण हो ये सदन की और देश की राय है, इच्छा है।